Hello and welcome to Girls Gays Animes, where it is safe to love what you love and love who you love. I am your host, Valsaraptor. I have none of my regular co-hosts with me today. Tia is out on maternity leave. Mim has bronchitis, and Doki Doki Bun Bun, her entire life is under construction, and they are all sorely missed. But instead, I have two straight males with me doing a reaction to Ouran High School Host Club. Frank, who is waving feverishly during this video broadcast, has already seen Iran. Did you do a rewatch, Frank? Frankfurt?
I
Do,
watched it
do
at
you
the
prefer
end
the
of
long
last.
form of your name or the short form of your
It
name?
don't matter.
Frankfurt or Frank?
It
Okay.
don't matter. You can call me Frank. Yeah, no, I watched it at the end of last year at some point, before we were even like, oh, this is a thing we should do.
Okay.
It's just but it's probably like the sixth time I've watched it. So
Okay. And then we're also here with Danny like Phantom, who is a repeat guest for fans of the pod. And this is Danny's first time watching Iran High School Host Club.
It is. I have missed it, but despite being tangential to it almost my entire life.
And worlds finally collided.
Really.
Okay, and I forgot to intro Frank, aka Frankfurt, is a part of, I'm going to call it the Brother podcast, even though our podcasts never really diverge whatsoever. But
we
he is the
didn't
other
do
half of
nothing.
my husband's podcast,
Hello.
Baka Bites. What do you guys?
Baka and Co podcasts on all social platforms. I would hope that I would remember that at this point in my life.
Is that your sales pitch before we get into it today?
Yeah, we've been recording for like 3 years. I don't know if I'm supposed to curse, so I apologize if I'm not.
Watch your profanity.
I'm so
Such
sorry.
profanity.
Yeah, no, we've been recording for nearly 3 years, Tyler and I, that is. But yeah, we've gone through iterations of our show. Currently we do a weekly show in which we just talk about a weekly topic of just whatever floats our boat that week we'll talk about. So this past week we recorded an episode on the spring anime of 2025, and we kind of went through all the shows coming out and basically said what we were going to watch, what we are going to skip, etc., etc. So
Not to
that is
make
what
this a
we do.
sales pitch, not to make this a sales pitch for your podcast, but then you're also doing like your flashback series where like right now you guys
Yeah.
are watching Death Parade and then you guys are gonna talk about that.
Yeah, so we're doing another like side show to it where it's like once a month we watch an entire season of of an anime or a movie, and we basically take an hour 30 minutes to just discuss it ad nauseum as to what we liked, what we didn't like, etc. We did just record last weekend, I think so. Yes, last weekend, our episode on, I should remember this, Terror and Resonance. So that episode will be coming out at the end of the month.
Nice. And Danny like Phantom, do you have any sales pitch for your existence?
Yes. All over the internet, I am BitkingDT, BitkBitKingDT. It's a Digimon reference. I do video essays on YouTube. I'm slowly getting back to it. I like to take a look at intersectional like subtext with like series. So one of the last videos I did was about how in the live action Percy Jackson adaptation they made one of the characters Latino when even though in the book he was white, and I discussed how that kind of changes and in my opinion kind of makes the story better because now there's subtext that is explicitly text. I am working on some new things, like I also how different tropes like enemies to lovers, or what's another one that I have here, uh like nostalgia, like how depending on aspects of a character, depending on like the context of the story, how it can change, how it can be different. And that's it for now on that. There was another thing I might say, but I haven't even started it. So maybe new projects, but once I get off my butt, then I'll have something to say maybe.
No, because when you start one project, it becomes multiple projects. Just like this
Exactly.
podcast became manga reviews, became now playthrough videos on YouTube. So we've also cross-pollinated and bred and become. It's as if one project isn't enough. Why don't we do more?
Mhm.
Yeah, and instead of finishing one, we'll just start 5 others.
Yeah, none of us have
Yay.
ADHD.
No, not at
Ooh.
all.
On that note, let's get into today's topic, which is Ouran High School Host Club. So this is one of my faves. For those who can't see me, who are listening to the podcast on our various platforms, I'm wearing my Ouran High School Host Club t-shirt. I'm showing off my Ouran High School Host Club tattoo. It's a whole thing for me. But I'm disappointed in Frankfurt because I know for a fact he's got an Ouran hoodie. Oh, he is wearing.
What
Okay,
are you talking about?
it's mirrored. I can't read.
I can't
can't
read in
read.
general.
Excuse me, that is a crew neck.
It is a
Okay,
crew
sorry.
neck, and actually, your husband
quite
gave
sure.
me this, so
That's how I knew that you had one.
I
'cause
know. I had to
'cause he
fish
was in
this
my-
out of the bottom of the dirty bin and Febreze it. So
Why don't you wash
Luckily,
it?
this is not a multi-sense podcast.
long,
There's no
long
smells
story
being
short,
emitted.
that is not my chore of the household.
I'm telling your wife that you're trash talking her on the internet after
No,
this.
I love my wife. She's playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Leave her be.
I'm so jealous. As soon as we're done, I'm logging on to Hello Kitty Island Adventure to play with your wife.
Oh no, she's not going to play with you. She's waiting on me to get done with this so we can watch the season finale of Severance.
Ooh, yes.
Which is an hour and 20 minutes. So
God
I'm
damn
in
it.
desperate need of ore from your wife.
or
Or
but
on.
yeah,
Ouran.
good transition. I was gonna try and transition us back on
Nope,
topic.
we're all too ADHD. One of us, we're like splitting a brain cell here. Someone's got to keep us on track. We're already like 10 minutes in and we haven't actually talked about Ouran whatsoever. So
it wasn't about halfway until I was talking about what I do for the podcast that I realized we had started recording. So we're doing fantastic.
Why'd you think I was having you do the bit? Anyway, okay, so Frankfurt's seen this multiple times. I've seen multiple times, but Danny, you always get pulled into me being like, hey, you know what would be a funny podcast episode if you just went along with this thing that I like and you also indulged it. So you were texting me as you were watching it, and Frank
Yes.
didn't get the pleasure of
Nope, I didn't. I really
your
wish I
immediate
did.
reactions. We should
Really
have had a
wish I
group chat
did.
for it. Yeah. But I think the thing that stood out to me the most was your hatred for Honey Nezuka.
Yes, I
Oh.
hate children. And
Full stop.
I think
He's
didn't I say
the
that?
oldest. What do you mean?
Okay, the oldest child. He's still a legal child.
In the manga, he's 18.
Okay. I didn't read the manga. So if you want to buy me the box set, I will gladly read and we can redo
I
this.
have it here.
I
next
still need to
me.
read it as well, buddy, so don't worry about it.
I'm in the manga up to the point that the manga like diverges from the anime.
Okay,
And
that is
I was gonna read it, but I'm the type of person that if I really like a series, I'm not gonna jump into the manga from the point that the anime ends. I'm still gonna read it from the beginning.
yes, you are correct. That's the way to do it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's why I haven't finished Dandadan either.
Oh,
I mean, it's still ongoing every Monday, but
you got
yeah.
time. So the anime itself only goes up to like volume 8, and I believe there's 16 volumes.
I can fact check you. Just give me a minute.
I think it's 18
16
because
or
I was on
18.
the
Okay,
Ouran High
it's
School
16 or 18,
subreddit.
yeah.
I was
Okay,
on the
then
subreddit
it's
right
18.
before
It is
this.
18. It is 18.
Yeah.
Like the child.
I will be our fact,
Just
I
like
will
the
be our
child
fact
that you
checker.
hate.
The boy, the child, the lad.
Yes.
The boy, the child, and the lad. That's what we should rename it.
Okay,
I'll say-
so go ahead. I want to clarify that it's not that I necessarily hate Honey. It's that there is a great movie from 2008 or 2006. I can't remember 6 or 8. Role Models, and I love it because Paul Rudd, who now everyone knows is like a wholesome guy, is like a jerk in that movie, and is like he's says, "I will hit a child. I've never done that before."
It is 2008, 2008. That would have been weird.
2008. Why don't we do that? We should. Why don't we do 2008? We do 2010. We should do 2008.
The CEO of our company today said 22.5 earlier today, and I was like, oh, okay.
22.5. Yeah, okay. I mean, okay. I guess I have to accept that. If I want 2008, I have to accept 2020 22.5. So but yeah, like it's like multiple times like I will hit a child. I've never done that before. And that's how I kept feeling
for legal reasons.
I'm gonna count how many times you sent me that meme. Hold on. It was a lot.
Okay, hold
Yeah.
on. But real quick question for you, Danny, and this is a very important question. Did you
Yes.
watch it dubbed or subbed?
I watched the dub.
Okay.
Because
Then I understand a bit more because
but
I do also feel not necessarily hatred for Honey no Zuka, but like boy oh boy, that voice.
so
That
no,
voice actor did a great job, but holy crap.
No, I do want to say I switched in between every time that like there was like I found myself. I do this with all anime. Like the dub sub debate is irrelevant to me because I'll switch between both. Or if I'm watching it on Netflix, I like Netflix because they have like the proper sub. So like there are times so I get both. I get both the dub and like what the sub is like intending, and I hate both voice act. I think it's just fully the character. Like both of the sub and the dub do a good job of like what that character is supposed to be, and what that character is supposed to be is like an antithesis to who I am as a person. But up until he gets like his backstory episode, and then out from his backstory episode, then I'm like, okay, I like him more. That it spoke to me a little bit. And I think just the character does change after that once he explains his story. But yeah, how many times did I send you Paul Rudd saying I will hit a
6.
child? 6.
Well, you sent it 6 times in reference to Honey no Zuka, and then you sent it another time in reference to something else, but I don't remember why. So
And
I
it's
digress. It
probably
was 6
valid.
times.
And it's
Yeah.
probably valid.
Yeah.
We're gonna be completely honest. Like I love this show, but there are moments of this show where I'm just like, all right, if I could just like fast forward a little bit without missing any of it, that'd be great. Because there are times where like
I
the
treasure every moment of this show. There's
to be
not
fair,
a
like there's
second
some
that I
moments with
would
the
zoom past.
twins.
Okay.
No, that is satire. That is not okay. So hold on.
Wait. Before, can you explain to the audience what Ouran High School Host Club is?
Oh
What do
boy.
you want me to give like a if you've never seen Ouran High School Host Club?
I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to do your show.
I assume that if someone clicks on my episode, they're like, "Oh my god, I love Ouran High School Host Club. Let me listen to this podcast about it." Not, this is a random anime podcast about a show I've heard of but know nothing about. Let me watch this episode. I doubt that it's that, especially for a show this. I don't want to say classic, but I mean it does have a cult following.
I would definitely call it classic at this point. Like it's nearly
it's
vintage.
Old. The ratio is off on it.
Yeah, next year is going to be vintage because like vintage is 20 years. But like
okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, really? The fact checker's going.
No, he is right. It is 20 years next year, but it's just like we're gonna say 20 years is vintage. Like, fuck, I'm 33 this year. Like, what the hell does that make me?
Decrepit.
Oh god.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
As someone who's the same. Hello.
Still, Kitty. It's still vintage because I think above vintage is antique, and antique is 100. So all of us are vintage, I guess.
Fair enough.
But I mean, that's kind of what you said. Like, yeah, I guess if they know the name Ouran High School Host Club, but they haven't watched it, they're gonna be a guest on this podcast because that was me. Like, I have a distinct memory of like being in like middle school, and there was a classmate of mine that was like. I forget how I don't remember the exact verbiage or like words we used, but she was like, "Wait, you're an anime kid. You like Naruto. I really like Ouran High School Host Club. We should be friends." And I was like, "I don't know what that is. I don't think we have anything in common." And so we just never became friends.
And now that you know, you're like, we are not the same.
I mean, in middle school, I should not have been picky with friends. I had no room to be picky.
Oh boy.
So what did you know going into this? Like, what were you mentally prepared for?
It's funny because like I seen
it.
I really like the main thing that I knew is I really love like DC Comics, and the new Superman cartoon, My Adventures with Superman, it is almost explicitly like based on like art style and the way like the female gaze like of the male characters and like some of the female characters is very much inspired by Ouran High School Host Club. Like half of the episodes are references um to Ouran High School Host Club, My Adventure Superman. Like there's it's funny, there's this episode, the first one I recognize is like Kiss Kiss Fallen Portal, because like that's the name of the episode and it's a reference to that where like I forget exactly, I haven't seen season 1 in a while, but yeah, so like that's kind of what I knew about it. And I know exactly 2 people in my real life that figured out that they were trans because of this show, but other than that I knew nothing about it. And kind of wish I did, because multiple times throughout watching it I kept having to like readjust my expectations, because I was like, oh, this is gonna be this, oh wait, no it's not. I like I thought it was gonna be kind of like a monster of the week, but like a date. Like every week she was gonna go on like a different date. Winry was gonna go, and then like they were gonna teach Winry from Full Metal Alchemist how to be a boy, and then Winry would teach them how to be like her perspective, blah blah blah. And then like I realized really quick it wasn't that, and then yeah, it took me a second to like readjust exactly to what it was.
So as the white bearded male cis straight man, should I mansplain what the show is about?
Yeah, let's hear your mansplained explanation of Ouran High School Host Club. Please, my viewers will love that.
Yes, that's exactly what they were looking for. To put it very, very briefly, smart young lady is not very wealthy, goes to a very wealthy school on a full ride scholarship, breaks a vase worth more than 50 of her lives combined, and has to work it off by working at the host club. That's it.
Okay, wait, pause. You forgot smart autistic
That's
lady.
You're right.
Very non-binary coded.
Shit, you right.
Okay,
sorry,
fun fact about autism is that it is I don't want to say symptom. It's common for people on the autism spectrum to have like, I don't want to say gender fluidity, but to basically have a hard time compartmentalizing specific genders for themselves and for like people around them. And so it's like even more autistic coded, knowing that like she's like, it's just gender, who cares? Like it's all a construct. Like, I don't care what clothes I wear, I don't care like if people think I'm a guy or a girl, it really doesn't matter. I don't care. That is like, sure, she could be gender fluid and not be autistic, but that is an autistic like tendency. It's normal for people on the spectrum.
A parallel or like a tangent.
Yeah. So
that would be the very quick synopsis.
Yeah. And for those that don't know what a host club is,
get out from underneath a rock and go look it up.
I still watched the entire show, and I was like, I don't exactly know. Like going back to like the whole, I thought it was gonna be like her going on a date every week. I'm still not exactly sure what the host club like does. Like if you put me in a host club right now and say do the host club thing, I would fumble around. Like,
you want to make your patrons spend as much money as they can on things that should not be expensive, but are.
It's a non-sexual escort situation.
Okay. Cool. I don't know if it was a
like,
dub.
We're here to entertain. They're literally just there to entertain. That's it.
Okay.
That's the whole bit.
That's about the vibe I got, but you know, I just like, wait, what are they doing? I first thought it was a dub thing or a cultural thing, but that one was kind of like, oh, interesting, I guess. Because again, like I counted like half of them is like not doing host things. It's like doing beach episodes or like, which is great. I love it, but like especially in the second half, they forget about the host part.
Yeah. There's so many like good lines in this that I feel like I reference regularly. And one, because my husband also watched this for the first time as I was doing my rewatch, and he now understands commoner coffee, and that is just so valuable to me.
So when I was thinking when I said out loud selling things that are expensive that should not be, the first thing that came to my mind was the commoner coffee. It's like, oh yeah, it's the commoner coffee. No, wait, I'm gonna try it.
They're like, no, don't do it. Go ahead.
I've worked I worked on a horse farm for like 8 years, and so like I've like mingled with like that level of rich, and it's so funny how much that's not an exaggeration. Like they like I there was some like I was a horse groom, and like the jockeys, he was a couple years older than me, literal millionaire, like $1 million allowance, a slight exaggeration, but like I took him to Marshalls, he's like, holy crap, place is amazing, you can just get everything you need in one place. He's like enamored by Marshalls.
Wait until you take him to Ross
Oh my gosh.
or TJ Maxx.
I didn't have TJ Maxx money back then. I barely have it now.
Don't we all? But
Okay.
yeah, no, so it's fascinating because I don't think I've actually watched this show subtitled before, so I really don't have an understanding for what those voice actors sound like. But I think generally in record to this show, like I do fondly love this show in the best possible way. There are things that I know aren't great and I can look past them, but I think for me the I know, Val, we kind of touched on this and we can go back to it. The twins like are probably my least favorite part of the show. I know, Danny, for you it's probably Honey Nozuka.
From a narrative perspective, like I remember Honey's episodes. I honestly could not tell you which of the twins went on a date with Haruhi. Like,
I think it was Hikaru. I don't know, actually. Honestly, I don't.
I think like at the very least, like Honey made me feel something, even if that something was hatred. I feel nothing towards the twins. You know, it's like the opposite of love is not hate; it's apathy. Like I genuinely didn't care about the twins at all.
Really? Because I feel like I don't care about Tamaki.
Tamaki, I get that.
Tamaki is very kind of just like, he's baseline. I feel like he's just like, he is the bar, and it's either like your favorite characters above that bar or your favorite or least favorite characters below that bar. Like he is the standard of just like, okay, this is what the show is about, and this is where like we're gonna set the baseline of not necessarily like annoyance, but like how these boys view the world. This is the baseline for them.
So it's funny you mentioned, because like one of the things when I was watching the show, it took me a longer than I care to admit that like Haruhi, for me to realize that like Haruhi is not the main character. She is the vessel through which we experience the story, and in a lot of ways, Tamaki is the main character. And there were so many things. I think I even texted you here in my notes. Like the theme song is very much is like it looks like a shonen theme song, the way they like go around, like they even show the sky in the background, and I was like, why are they, the sky's right there, why are they not attacking it? And I guess in that sense, kind of like again, like even being a casual anime fan, like comparing it to shonen, which is what I know best, it's Tamaki is kind of like that main character where like the main character is kind of boring, and then everyone else has favorite side characters. Like I don't know anyone who loves Naruto from Naruto, like as much as people like Neji or like Sasuke, like this other side characters. You know what I mean?
Naruto is actively my least favorite character in Naruto.
See, so it's especially, I don't know if it's a 2000s thing or something, but like yeah, like the main character is no one's favorite. Well, until we get the bit I was talking about.
Okay, so yeah, who were your favorite characters then?
Probably Thor. Not Thor.
Thor.
Mori.
Yeah, Mori. Yes. He's voiced by.
I brought props.
Yeah, Mori is voiced by Travis Willingham, who I know best as Thor from the animated Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Kyoya, probably. Kyoya for sure, voiced by J. Michael Tatum. It was so funny. I pulled up a picture of Tenya Ida from My Hero Academia.
Oh my god!
And I showed him to my partner. And I was like, "These characters are voiced by the same guy." And she's like, "If it wasn't for the armor, I would believe you if you told me that these are the same exact character."
It was just the same character.
Yeah,
That's
J.
so
Michael
funny.
Tatum is just like typecast as like dudes with glasses. I was heartbroken. I found out he wasn't Oryu from Bleach. But
okay, wait. Side note: the
good.
props that I have here today, these were this is an accidental purchase. I goofed in Japan and I panicked because there was an Ouran high school host club like cafe that I went to, and then there was like a random pop-up that was selling stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, they have these blind boxes, let me grab one. And like it was a small setup, so you just like went up to the front and you told them what you wanted, and I was like, oh, I just want one of these. And she's like, oh, you want one of these? And it was a box, and I was like, yeah, that's what I want. And she was like, are you sure? Basically all very like gestury. And I was like, yeah. It was a box with one of each of these in it. And I don't know how much it cost. It was more than what I would have liked, but now I have one of all of them because there was a misunderstanding. But you know what? I'm not too mad about it.
Yeah.
But Danny, I would agree with you. Mori was probably is my favorite character in this, just because I find his character the funniest.
Yes.
It just pure comedic. Like, I know he's the silent type, and like that's really, I feel like it can be very hit and miss in a series, and I feel like his character really hits in this series. And then when he does talk, it's just like, oh, okay, he's just a normal dude.
Yeah, I really liked the episode when Roronoa Zoro came in and was just like, hey, you're a big mean jerk, but you have friends. Can you teach me? And he was like visibly shocked. He's like, what?
Immediately.
Wait, let's continue the ranking. Okay.
And then Honey Senpai was like, is it true, Mori? Are you using me? It was precious.
Yeah, okay. Mori.
Frank's co-host, aka my husband, Mori was also his favorite character.
Okay,
but
Mori,
wait, okay.
Kyoya.
Yeah, Mori, Kyoya.
Honestly,
which version?
Just because of his role in the story, I have to say Tamaki.
Like gasp.
Tamaki, then Honey.
Okay.
Then wait, okay, there's Haruhi.
Yeah, Hikaru and Haruhi left.
Okay, then Haruhi. And then like if you want to put them off of the book, the twins. Like yeah, they're right there. Yeah, those are
wait,
top
both
five.
Twins,
so taboo.
Hold on. Both twins equally questionable. There is clearly a better twin.
I could not tell you the difference, so they're the same.
The one
is a human, and the other one is like a brat. Like
was it Hikaru that's the brat, and Karu was the one that's like got a half a mind to him?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
The one, yeah. I mean, okay, fine. The one that did not abandon her when it started to rain can stay on the book, and the other one can fall off the book.
Okay. Okay, wait. So I'm gonna get Frank. How would you adjust the ranking?
I actually really enjoy Haruhi, so I'd probably put Haruhi second after Mori.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd probably I would switch Kyoya and Tamaki, and then we're good.
Wow.
So I really wouldn't change it all too much.
Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna do mine. So I've got Mori, and then Honey, and then the bad twin is at the end next to Tamaki, and then Haruhi, and then like this. Totally different than you guys, I think.
Have you seen that meme of the hamster eating a banana? Is that why you like?
No, don't do that. No, it's not that. Okay, so normally, yes, the podcast is like that. This is not that kind of episode, but it does merit, and it brings me to my next question, which is, these are how we would rank our characters, like our favorite characters, whatever.
Okay.
I feel like my favorite characters line up with like my ships, I think. So I'm leading Danny into something, but I want to get your ships first. Do you ship anyone with Haruhi?
If I had to, I would say Mori, because I think that one of the
We're going
reasons
for OG canon. I love it.
yeah, one of the reasons that like Haruhi was like so low for me is that she seemed very much like a reactive passive character for so long, and in the water park episode is like one of the few times that like I saw her actually take agent, like, oh, she like felt something, like like when Ace Porquez the Ace like picked her up and she was like, "Ooh, I like this." And I'm like, "Oh shit, you have a personality. You have what's it called? Motivation." So yeah.
Frankfurt.
If I'm being completely honest,
Please.
the childhood friend who you don't have,
Oh,
I think that he is so like he is down to earth. She's down to earth. I don't think that any of these are like the greatest fit for her. So like I still thoroughly like that arc, that childhood friend arc where she has the job at like the summer house. I really thoroughly enjoy those episodes despite how freaking annoying I think it's Hikaru, who's the bad twin, is towards her. And I really, really, really like the introduction of a childhood friend, and that whole dynamic just throws a wrench
Frank
into
looks like he would ship a
everybody.
childhood friend.
I would, despite the fact that I am in love with the ships in Blue Box right now. So, but
So
anyways,
it's
Okay.
I'm looking at my notes app and I literally had like, oh, this summer vacation is cute. Next bullet point: childhood crush puke emoji. I hate childhood. I hate childhood friends to lovers so fucking much. It's so funny. And it's
gosh darn it, Danny.
Yes.
and the next bullet point
Always
is
the worst. They're always the worst pairing.
It's like the thing is like the thing I don't like about childhood friends to lovers. I can like them; they can be done well. But the thing is, like, typically it means that like neither one of you has grown. Typically, it means that like both of you are like in the ones I've seen, which we've
Yeah.
established, I have not encountered that much romance, or if I have, it's majority of the romance I've encountered is in a context of a shonen story, which is like a male power fantasy. But it's like the thing of they haven't grown that much. It's like, oh, you were friends when you were 5, and yet here you are 17, 18, 19, and you're still acting more or less the same as you were when you were 5 or 6. But here I said, like, the next bullet point, wait, I just realized we're 16 episodes in and I don't really know anything about Haruhi and her desires. And then next they talk about like he's like, Kyoya's like, why do you look surprised? Well, I didn't know. when he's like, oh, you rejected me.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
So I'm gonna say I am also Team Mori, and I was Team Mori even before I found out that the mangaka's original plan was to make them canon, and then as they were writing it, like they were getting, like they were collecting, like they were releasing and writing, and so they ended up changing the main ship as a result. But Mori was the like original canon.
So okay, so there is like official quote unquote ending there.
Yeah,
Like, in the manga.
The manga ended, and they do have a ship, but
At that point, it's not a ship; it's the real.
Well, yeah, the
it's canon.
Ship.
The ship sailed.
But yeah, I mean, other than like childhood friend, if I did have to pick somebody, it probably would be Mori, because I feel like the others are so.
Now he ships Mori.
Okay.
Just
no, it's fine. No, because again, I think that the fact that Haruhi is so down to earth, I feel like Mori is like very the same wavelength, and that anybody else is just so it just doesn't fit right.
So let me add to this, because I have gone to my cat is like, hello, pay attention to me, what are you doing? I've gone to a myriad convention. One convention that I went to, this is like peak for me, okay? It was like otaku court. And basically you would roll in and you would pitch who you thought was like the best ship for a character that they would like randomly whatever pick, or best ship from a show, and they had like a spin wheel. And then Ouran came up, and someone comes on and they're like, oh, I ship Tamaki with Haruhi. And everyone's like, yeah, whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm like seething in my seat. And I'm like, okay, is my autism going to win? Is my anxiety going to win? Is my autism going to win? Is my anxiety going to win? What's going to happen? And I'm like, I can't let this happen. I can't let Haruhi end up with Tamaki again. And so I stand up and I'm like, I'm sorry, you guys are wrong. Even the mangaka didn't want that for her. And as I'm saying this, someone cosplaying as Haruhi walks in the door. And I'm like, Haruhi, you got to defend yourself. Get up there. What are you doing? And everyone's like, yeah. The cosplayer gets up there and she's like, oh, yeah, like I'm supposed to be with Mori. And I was like, yes, go off. So it was like this whole, yeah. So I team Mori, like deep core ship there. There's also there was also a whole argument during the panel where people were talking about how basically all of the other characters would more or less make Haruhi give up her dream in order to like be with them. Like Tamaki would likely just feel like he loves her, but he's self-absorbed, and the twins are also self-absorbed.
Honey's just too much of a child.
I mean, he's
not interested either. I feel like
he only cares about sweets, and I'm sure at some point, like he would grow out of only being obsessed with sweets. And then nerd guy, he is like a businessman, and that's like his main thing. Like it's clear he does like Haruhi, whatever. But at the end of the day, Mori we know about Mori that when he cares about someone, he wants them. He prioritizes making sure that they do what they want over him doing what he wants. And so at the end of the day, we know that Mori would support her and whatever she wants to do, whether she wanted to be a lawyer, whether she wanted to be a mom, if she wanted to not be a lawyer anymore and give up and do whatever, like he would support that. He would support anything that she would want to do. And at its core, like that is a real partner. And so like all of the other ones seem more like children when it comes to like a ship for, I mean, I know they're all children, but he seems more like a full-fledged like romantic partner versus the other ones just like are infatuated with her.
But the commoner coffee, he tried the commoner coffee for her.
That's I was like scrolling around for like trying to like get like, okay, I watch a show now, like what is like the fandom think, what is like what's this, what's that, it's like why do y'all hate this? But one of the things I saw that was actually very interesting is that like especially in the episode where they introduce Haruhi's dad, somebody like pointed out that like, oh, like Tamaki and her dad are like almost very identical, almost exactly like, so him ending up with her would just be the same for her. Like her life wouldn't change. She wouldn't grow up from like, and this is again one of those things I hate about like childhood friends to lovers is just like you don't grow up. So like she is kind of taking care of her dad. She's like dealing with like his antics, and then they go like, even if you, I don't know how Japan works, if it's normal to you to leave to go to college, and assuming they live together or that kind of thing, it'd be the same thing. She would be leaving like her dad to take care of Tamaki's antics. Even though I will say, like, I do like Tamaki's kind of like growth and maturity of like owning up to responsibility, like owning up to things. Like it's subtle, but like by the last episode, I was like, oh, I guess he has kind of changed a little bit, especially considering the fact that he's supposed to be 16. So like I'm like, okay, like that was the other thing, is just like having to like earlier when I said like, oh, I had no room to be picky. It's just like having like, okay, he's 16. I was insufferable at 16. So like a little bit there, but given what we know of just like this, it's just like, sure, okay, I accept that he's 16 based on the information the show gives me. I don't think that he would be a good fit for her.
Yeah, I mean, like he's selfish in a way, but he's also thoughtful, and I think it's like his thoughtfulness and caring that carry him. But at the end of the day, he's still like selfish and immature.
Same for her dad. Like, and that's what I mean.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I love her dad. Her dad is great. My God. Like as a parent, I feel like that
Danny did text
dynamic.
me as soon as the dad came on. Hold on, let me look up what he said. Keep going.
I was gonna say, as a dynamic, I feel like the dad and her work a lot better than like that type of personality works good for a parent, but not as a partner. So that's why, like when you were like Tamaki and the dad are very similar. It's like they are very, very similar. But I feel like as a parent, a literal parent, that works. That's fine to be a doting parent on your child. But like as a partner, lover, no, it's not. It's very not necessarily one-sided, but it's very toxic.
I do like the Tamaki basically went the whole series without realizing he liked Haruhi. Like the whole thing was like, wait, do I have a crush on her? That was very funny.
But
okay, did you find it? What I said to you?
No, sorry. I'm going through your bunch of realizations of the voice actors. Several. I want to punch Honey Senpai in the faces. I'm getting there. Hold on.
Oh, right. The words that they used for Haruhi's dad. I'm like, oh, right.
This was made back in the early 2000s.
This is the one where I was like, I went to the sub. I'm like, oh no, that's what they said that with their chest. They said it's stronger in Japanese. They used a hard T and a hard R.
No. You had said I lied. I like the mean girl with the main character.
Oh yeah. Himiko Tor.
Is it the girl that comes out of nowhere that just has the evil like villainess laugh?
That was so we were talking about it was made in 2000s. The repeated bit of the power generator to signify that she was coming. It's so just like funny. It's like a great way to like reuse assets, especially back then everything was like 2D animated. They had to hand draw it, so like, all right, we're gonna reuse it. I love it. That was one of my favorite bits of the whole show.
It's so great. It's so great.
Yeah, that's the one I didn't recognize. It was like, oh wait, like that's not. I didn't recognize her as Bulma from Dragon Ball Z. But oh yeah, the mean girl from like the very first episode.
Why do I not remember the mean girl?
Because at the very first episode, like I learned very quickly, she does not appear.
When Haruhi walks in and
yes. Okay, no, I do know now. Yes, for some reason before you said first episode, I was thinking the girls from Lobelia, but then Lobelia. Yeah,
we won't talk about Lobelia and that one cutscene. We won't talk about that on this podcast.
Okay, what do you mean? It's a bird.
Yeah, no. Now that when you say first episode,
it's giving
I remember
Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh yeah. Okay. There. All of us are in our 30s, and Haruhi's dad is 35.
Okay, so that was what I was getting at, is that when you met Haruhi's dad, your first reaction was 35. Then your second reaction was, I never would have guessed them saying transvestite.
Yeah, I bet like let's go. I think I had texted you where like if I had watched the show like when it came out, I would have been like a nicer, more accepting person at a much younger age, because like I think it was like an 11th or 12th grade before I like learned that gay people were real, and it wouldn't be until I was in college that I met the first trans person I know. And one of whom would tell me that like this show is the one that trans their gender and like help them realize that like, oh, the default factory settings are not working.
What's so wild to me is that like if this show didn't exist and we're like just now previewing in this day and age, it would just, I feel like it would get, I mean, obviously like things would have to change about it like slightly. Not the twins though. But I think
the beach episode.
I think people would call it woke, and I think that it would just be like kind of, it would get brushed off for being woke, and that would be it. But the fact that when this came out and like everything that's woke, air quotes, about it is so chill, it's like, I think everything that people get annoyed about wokeness for, this just, it's so chill about it. It just is what it is. She's just like, yeah, like at no point in the episode does someone be like, oh my God, Haruhi, your dad wears ladies' clothes. like that doesn't even happen. Like
Mhm.
everyone's just kind of like, oh, he wears women's clothes. Oh, it just is what it is. It's no one's like obsessively bringing attention to it. Everything, like the fact that she's like, who cares what clothes I wear? Who cares if someone thinks I'm a guy? And that's just the end of it. And I think that, to your point, Danny, like if you'd have watched this back then, or I mean, I'm sure it changed a lot of people's lives, just the fact that it existed when it did.
Mm-hmm. I think my sister told me that she watched this entire thing like on YouTube in 3 parts. And it was like the first anime she watched, knowing it was an anime, not like Frank on like your pod. We had talked about like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon being like animes that like
You don't
you don't
realize
know.
they are, but
Yeah,
they
you just think
are.
they're cartoons
Yep.
because they're on Cartoon Network. So you think, oh, they're cartoons.
Yeah.
But also she said that like I watched I watched this on Ouran High School Host Club on YouTube at the friend's recommendation, and then I watched a whole bunch of other things. I recommended her Code Geass, and then she watched it and she stopped talking to me.
Maybe because the main character's sister's in a freaking wheelchair.
Oh, okay. Val, do you want to play the game? Or
Okay, wait, before we get into that, I wanted to add, so like I haven't made it that far in the manga beyond what exists in the anime. The only thing that I know is different that I've personally read is the innkeeper.
Oh.
They have a daughter in the manga. And in the manga, that girl is like trying to push Haruhi out of being with like the guys, and she like is like, oh, Haruhi, you should hook me up with Tamaki and let me go on a date with him. And like it's a whole thing, but that's like it's like a whole like several chapters in the manga that's like a divergence from like the anime itself, which I can see why they didn't include it. It was completely unnecessary to the whole story. But she's a gauru, so she's like big thick makeup and blah blah blah. So and she also, part of the plot with that one is that like she like hates her dad, and but her dad is still like low-key taking care of her. She like moves in with Haruhi, but then like the dad's like sending her like, he's like, hey, like I know my daughter's living with you, here's her favorite recipe, cook it for her please. And like it's very sweet.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I really need to suck it up and just buy this box set one day.
That's what I was
searching.
searching.
Is not today, but I do need to do it one day.
I was searching for.
Can I have the
and, like,
notepad set that comes with it? I already used all of my notepad.
Hey, it's on sale on Crunchyroll right now. We were talking about that before. $50 off.
$50
So it's
off.
what, like 115 now?
136.
Oh, on my screen. Oh, it's 129 for me because I've got the
Mega,
the ultimate tier fan,
Okay,
whatever thing.
The Omega
So it's
versus
130.
Crunchyroll.
Omega first Crunchy. Yeah, you get nodded.
Am I cringe for paying for Crunchyroll? Is that what this is?
No,
No.
just because you
The
guys said
amount of-
Mega, and I was like, oh, it's the
Oh.
Omegaverse Crunchyroll account.
Yeah, you get
Oh.
nodded.
Oh no,
Those
I get
alpha
it now.
deals.
It clicked. I get it now.
Okay.
No.
All right, yeah.
No, for how much?
Okay.
Yeah,
I know you're
look
new
at
to this podcast, Frank, but
But I'm not new to these topics. It clicked.
ooh, we're
and
having Frank on for an Omegaverse episode. Okay.
I have not watched any of that, so I could not participate at all at this point in time.
I
gotta
wanted
read
to do
that,
an episode with Frank and Danny. You're welcome to. It's live reactions to like me reading you Omegaverse.
I was gonna say that that Raylo, the Raylo Omegaverse book, I think it's literally just called Bride or something like Pet, or it's just something
Titan's
super.
Bride?
No, I think it's literally just called Allie Hazelwood. That's the author's name.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm gonna be honest.
She's like
I'm lost.
Publishes like she's like famous because she took her Raylo fan fiction, like Kylo Ren and Rey from Star Wars, and she like took the serial numbers off and like posted it and traditionally published it, and then she did one where it's like straight up Omegaverse, but with Kylo Ren and Rey
I mean, to be
Skywalker.
fair, Kylo Ren is the best Disney princess, so.
Yep. That was actually something I wanted to say, but I forgot. So,
what was this game you were implying at, Danny?
The last episode was the fanfic episode. We're moving on to.
I've actually surprisingly not read a single thing of fanfic for anything in my entire life, which is honestly shocking.
Story.
But anyways,
go ahead.
What is this game?
Oh, so Danny has prepared his own mini segment within my segment. So within my Straight Guy Reacts to Anime segment, Danny's prepared his own segment for this segment. Go on.
I'm so frightened right now. Like I'm not mentally prepared for this. For the viewers, I know Danny very well. Danny and I are good friends. This is not going to go well. This is not going to go well.
No. He did run it by me first. He didn't So this is all by the books.
This is not as bad as a hamster eating the banana or the hard T, hard R.
It's not this episode.
Or me clicking into our Discord chat between the two of us and seeing the freaking image of the paperclip getting violated. But that's neither here nor there.
That's a different fan fiction. Today, we're going to be talking about the Ouran High School Host Club on Archive of Our Own, AO3. And I'm going to ask you guys to guess the top, how many is this, 10?
No, you sent me the list, though.
Yeah. Did you look at it?
Yeah. You think I was going to ignore it? You're like...
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in crisis.
You were, yeah.
Okay. Frank, you guessed the placement.
Yeah, let's make Frank do it.
Val, you guessed the numbers. Because I know you don't remember the numbers.
Oh, I mean...
Okay, so...
Roughly.
In number 1 spot, Frank, guess the most popular ship, according to Fix, on Archive of Our Own of Ouran High School Host Club.
Just to clarify, the numbers that you found, are they the number of, fan fiction stories related to those characters?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the most popular fan fiction that people are writing? What is the most popular pairings?
Yes.
Frank, you better not be Googling this.
No, I'm not. I'm literally just bringing up a character list so I know names.
Okay, and I'll demonstrate with. I'm glad that I have props for this too. So
point on the acrylic. Which one?
Tell me when to stop.
Show me on the acrylic which ship hurt you.
So number 1, I mean, from what we've talked about, probably Mori.
Okay.
So you think Mori and who? Because this is not. This is all free for all ship. Okay. This is the pile of people that you get. Yes.
Again,
Frank.
straight brain. This is Girls, Gays, and Animes. Yes.
Welcome,
I gotta think outside.
This is your first time off.
Boy, oh boy. Okay, here we go.
And
no. If we're going ships that are number 1, it's probably the twins because it's the easiest.
All right, Val, the twins. How many fics do you think there are of the twins? They're on this list. What?
280.
All right, 1, 2, 3. The twins, Hikaru and Kaoru, are in 4th place with 311.
I wasn't too far off.
Yeah.
So this is 4, not 1. Okay.
Yeah, top 5. So
top 5. Okay. We're in the ballpark. So
number
1.
Go through the rest of the top 5s. Yeah. Try to stay in the top 5. Go through the rest of what you think are the top ships for the number. And this isn't the top ships. This is just how many fan fictions exist with the characters shipped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that one that just popped into my brain for later because I don't think it's in the top 5, but I do think it's in the top 10.
Is it the one that Danny mentioned? Is it the hamster one?
No, it's not the hamster and banana. As great as that ship is, I mean, let's just go for the obvious of Honey and Mori.
Honey and Mori. Oh,
you
Honey and Mori.
You weren't gonna go with the hamster.
Yeah, you said you weren't gonna.
This is the hamster.
This is the hamster one. Okay, then never mind. Yeah, I'm going with the hamster.
Okay, hamster. Hamster eating a banana. Honey and Mori is not in the top 10.
Ah. I'm slightly
I was
surprised.
surprised. I was surprised to see it not in the top 10.
Okay, then maybe what I'm thinking might actually make it.
Okay.
Because my perverse
I was
brain...
disappointed by the number 1 spot, if I recall correctly.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Because my brain went to Tamaki and Ranka, Haruhi's dad. The
That
two of them.
that's not here.
No,
Not I think you had an original thought, buddy. I don't.
probably then. Okay, well, I was way off base there.
Yes, very much so. I'm gonna say yes.
Val's like concocting plots in her own brain right now, just like,
How did Frank's brain get here? How is Frank like, yeah, for all of the people who
do
love
we want to
Ouran,
go through it?
the top
Isn't there-
5 ships
Well,
gotta be the
to be fair-
dad and the main love interest. Gotta
Isn't
be.
that a TikTok book? I swear that's a TikTok book where like she's like, oh, I like you. Just kidding. I like your dad.
Okay, wait. So on the topic of TikTok books, I'm gonna give Frank's brain time to churn and come up with the next one. I want another like blow my mind, Frank.
Real quick, before we blow anybody else's mind, is it within the top set or like the main 7 characters, or is it just some rando out there?
So I will say
Mostly mains.
mostly mains. There
Okay.
are 2 like so if you don't know, Archive Our Own like slash reader, so like self inserts, and there is one original character. So I'll say like the 10th spot, I'll just tell you straight up. Number 10 is Tamaki and reader. So Tamaki and a self insert. Number 9
True
is
host club core.
right.
Reading,
Yeah.
right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Or the second to last, because actually I realized, wait, is this more than 10? Kyoya and original female character.
Okay, so that's a self-insert as well, probably.
Effectively, yes. Then this one,
If the rest are just pairings, then yeah, I can try
and
and
then
take a pop shot.
and then Ootori number, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, exactly 10. Oh, I'm so lucky. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 6 is Kyoya and reader.
Okay,
So the self-insert.
so that leaves 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8.
Yes.
Yeah, 7, 8.
Okay. So while you brainstorm,
Okay.
on the topic of TikTok books, I'm doing my normal scrolling on TikTok, making sure that my For You page is perfectly aligned with my viewers and my own personal interests, as one does. And sometimes I teeter more onto like the book talk side. Sometimes I teeter onto the anime side, sometimes gaming, and I try to stay streamlined in like gay stuff usually. But one day I found myself on the more book talk side, and someone was like, "Oh, are you a fan of Ouran High School Host Club?" And I was like, "Okay, this belongs on my For You page." But
Yes.
basically, it was like a vampire fanfic erotic novel based loosely around Ouran High School Host Club. So of course, I read the first one.
First one.
I made it through the first one.
Of how many?
It's one of those ones that like goes on for probably too long, and that's where I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, this is trash, but it's gonna be like real trash." And so it's kind of my like, "Oh, I'm out of book club books to read. Let me jump back to this vampire loose." And I say, and where it's like a lady goes over to like clean this mansion and knocks over a vase. And then there's like these, she eventually finds out that they're vampires, and they're like the characters themselves, like their personalities are mixed up. There is a set of twins, but they don't have the same like personalities as our twins do. And so it's like that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm not gonna recommend it to the listeners unless they're like, you know
I
what?
need more.
You know what, listeners? Yeah, go. I'll look up the name for you, and I'll we'll
All right,
circle
while
back.
she
to
looks it
Frank.
up.
All right. While
Yeah.
she looks that up, I'm going to go out on a limb and think that both of the twins are one person at some point on this list, and then they are with another character. So I'm going to go with the twins in Haruhi.
No. Not a throuple.
Okay. So there's no throuple at all. So the twins don't...
Not in the top 10.
Okay. Cool.
It's just indebted to the vampires.
So Kyoya and Tamaki?
Kyoya and Tamaki is the number 2 spot.
You mean mom and dad? Of course.
This is the one I thought of you and your husband. Because like I've mostly seen you guys in the Flesh and Blood on trips where you guys do have to be that.
Corral us children, just like, come on, get your butts in gear. Let's go to the next place to eat some food.
I was waiting for you to ask like, what's
hungry?
Exactly.
I was waiting for you to ask which is my favorite ship not involving Haruhi. Because it probably would be that one. Like non-involving Haruhi. I'm like, if I have to pick one that's like non-involving her, I'm like, okay, I guess I like it. Like,
yeah.
Sure.
Kyoya having to keep Tamaki in freaking line is just it's comedy gold.
I really also love like their individual episode, like when they're like, he's like, oh, why can I not read you? Why can't I figure you out? And it's just, it was so funny. It's just like, there's nothing to figure out. There is no end game. Val, how many do you think that one has? How many fics are in that one?
So the other one was 311.
Yeah, 4th place was 311.
380.
700. So 2nd place has more than or nearly double. No, exactly more than double of 4th place of the twins with the twins.
Ouchie mama. Okay.
All right. So you're in the top 5, I will say.
Yeah.
You're either in the top 5 or the bottom 5 that are not in this list.
Let's go with Kyoya and Mori.
Kyoya and Mori.
Nowhere to be seen.
I don't think that. No,
I just assume Kyoya has dirt on all of them and is just one of those ships that it's just like, hey, one of these, like,
I can date anyone I want.
Because if you don't date me, I'm gonna release this laundry list of dirt I have on you.
I will say, yeah. I'll number 5 I did not see coming, but no, that's not. So you said
Kyoya and Mori.
That's not on this list. So I will say you're consistent with either your top 5 or bottom 5.
Or just not even in the top 10.
Well, no, bottom 5 is in, not the top 10. Because like it's archive of our own. So there's like thousands here.
Yeah.
God, like, because here's the thing, like, do people really want to ship Haruhi with all these people? Like, because I feel like fans of this type of degeneracy don't necessarily want to see the main girl.
I'll tell you this. Haruhi is only in 2 of the top 5.
And Mori wasn't one of them. Tamaki is the canon. So then it's got to be Kyoya as one of them.
With Haruhi, yes, Haruhi and Kyoya is number 3.
Okay.
Val, do you remember how many fics there are with Haruhi and Kyoya?
More than 311? Under 700? How many?
I know, right? 650.
330.
Okay, yeah.
So
that's a drop off.
That's what I mean. Like the like after you get past 2, they're all kind of like pretty close up to a certain point.
Up to a certain point, yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna read through the titles real quick of the like vampire Ouran.
Oh no.
The first one is Indebted to the Vampires. The second one is Wanted by the Vampires. The third one is Protected by the Vampires.
Hold on, back up.
The fourth one is Embraced by the Vampires.
Wanded, like a verb, wanded. W-A-N-D. Oh, I heard wanded, like
I also heard wanded.
W-A-N-D-E-D. I was like, what?
Hitachi, what are you doing?
Embrace of the Vampires. Then so that was the fourth one. The 4.5 is Tempted by the Butler. Then 5 is Loved by the Vampires. 5.5 is the main character's name, Piper. Piper's Punishment. Then Huntress of the Vampires. Judged by the Vampires. Imprisoned by the Vampires.
Would Renge be the butler? I guess if is the butler.
I couldn't pin who the butler was when I was reading it. Actually, oh, you know what? No, I have no idea, because the butler was like technically, I think, blood oathed to one of the mains, and they would like, you know,
Doc.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they were
Microsoft Surface
intimate
Dock.
with each other. Because the blood oath, whatever. So I don't know who the butler would have been, or if he's a new unique character, the spin-off vampire version of Ouran, erotic vampire version of Ouran.
All right. Do you want me to just
let's read through them?
Okay. I'm not gonna get any of these.
Okay.
I feel like I'd just be.
You did a good job, Frank.
Yeah,
thanks
you
for playing.
Pop shots and then getting people upset.
You had some original thoughts.
No, I was surprised. You got me, Frank.
All right. So number 1 with 705 fics is Haruhi and Tamaki.
The people want more. The people want more of what the anime left behind.
They want more vanilla? What the heck is this?
Vanilla's a good flavor. All right. Number 5. This one surprised me. Number 5 was 234 is Kaoru and Kyoya. That one makes no sense to me.
Honestly, that was the next one I was gonna say.
I could tell Frank was getting there. I could tell it was.
I was like, okay,
honestly.
if we're gonna ship one of the twins, which one is it gonna be? It's not gonna be the dickhead. It's going to be the good one.
The emotionally mature one with the other most another emotionally
manipulative one, or just physically manipulative one.
All right. Number 6, Haruhi and Hikaru with 184. Number 7 is Kyoya and Reader.
Who?
No, wait, number 6 is Haruhi and Hikaru.
Okay. Hate that one. Continue.
Are we mixing them again? Hikaru is, I thought,
the bad one.
The Hikaru is the bad one?
I'm pretty sure Hikaru is the one that just don't. Yeah, they're the.
I'm second guessing myself because I'm astonished that people are like, oh yeah, this guy should be with
because of his immaturity in dealing with others.
Oh, it's the I can fix him bit, isn't it?
184 I can fix him.
Yeah.
Come on.
The dickhead.
173 of Kyoya and Reader. Right. 171 in 8th place of Haruhi and Mori Takashi. So it made it to the top 10.
Yay.
Yeah, I said that one first, didn't I?
You said you didn't want to go for it because it's Girls Gays Animes. Like you said it, but then you didn't final answer.
Oh, yeah, y'all made me second guess myself.
I did not do shit.
That's right. Nope. Okay. Continue.
And then 8 and 10 are original female character with Kyoya and Suoh Tamaki with Reader.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think, but it's funny because despite nearly being almost being vintage, nearly 20 years old, I'm surprised at how active the fandom still is. Like when I was looking for this, I was looking on the Ouran High School subreddit, and the thing I do with every Reddit is I sort by most popular of all time, and all of the most popular ones have been in the past 2 years. The most upvoted things on Reddit have been 6 months ago, last year, 2 years ago, which I would have thought that was pandemic times would be people revisiting, but yeah.
I mean, it was the end of the pandemic 2 years ago, but yeah. Well, I guess that was 2022 more than 2023. Anyways, ignore my ramblings. Yeah, no, so you were I'm wondering how your brain got to the dad and Tamaki.
He's gonna internalize this for a while. Go on.
No, a part of it was the canon lover and the parent, but also my brain went, okay, it's the two parents. They're bonding over the love of Haruhi, and then they find out they have a lot in common, and then it's just okay, let's go to town. I don't know. That's where my brain went. Yeah. That was the rationale as to why I said it. It's not a good rationale, but it is a rationale.
I see the vision.
This was not Frank's ship. This is what Frank thinks other people ship.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't read fanfic. I don't know. So that just was the pop shot in my brain of that could work.
I mean, there is I looked it up. There is a TikTok book that is exactly that. So I see the vision, but you need glasses.
I've already got those, so I guess I gotta get a better prescription.
That's
But-
Frank, everyone.
Oh, one of the funny things, I don't know if this was like specifically a dub thing or like Netflix's thing. The flashback to the flip cell phone and the twins being like, "Oh, we're in her top 5."
Yes.
I remember that. I remember
Haruhi's top 5.
Good old
Oh.
MySpace.
back yeah.
No,
if
it
you're
was
in
the
your
you
top
have
No, I
five-
know,
unlimited
but
talk and text for your top 5, and then everyone else you charge minutes for.
To be
but
fair,
you have to
I-
wait until 9 p.m.
Yeah.
I got a cell phone in 8th grade, which I don't remember when that was. It was like 2000 something.
me, it was-
I don't remember.
For me, it was 2007.
We're all the
Let's
same
see.
age,
Hold on.
right?
I graduated
About.
from high school in 2011 -4, so 2007. Yeah, I don't know. I'm also a dumb kid that just doesn't remember my past very, very well. My brain is just like, ooh, new information. Buy out old information. But yeah, no, my brain just went to MySpace when you said top 5. I was like,
Top 8, right? I didn't have
Yeah.
MySpace because that was one of those ones I thought it was too cool for MySpace, so instead I spent all my time on Gaia Online.
I was gonna say, was that the
That was like the RPG kind of looking one.
Yeah, was that like what they made fun of Dwight Schrute in from The Office of like him making another life?
No, that was Second Life, which I
Okay.
found out was real in college. Like I thought it was like a joke that like they were making, like you know how
Nope.
like
Not a joke.
yeah, no, you know how like TV shows will like make up fake games
Yeah.
for like thing. Like I thought like, oh, Second Life, they're making fun of something. I thought they were making fun of The Sims or something. But no, Second Life was real. Like they used the government name and everything.
Fantastic.
Was there, I'm going to circle back to the show. Was there anything, I guess, for both of you, even though I know it's been a while for Frank, when you were watching this as someone who probably doesn't engage frequently with reverse harems or like BL content, was there any verbiage or jargon that you didn't understand?
I think
Or did you just use context clues?
I think well, I guess like the thing I didn't get, which is what you guys explained to me of like what exactly a host club is, which like now it makes sense. I think I kind of picked it up, but like I think I need to explicitly explain. But that actually is one of my notes here. I was like watching in the living room when my partner came back from work, and she just like sat down. It's like I think it was like episode 8 or 9 or 10, like in the middle of the show, and there was the part where the child that wanted to learn piano or that like new piano, he came in and just like explicitly explained everything. He's like twincest, this, that, and like in like 30 seconds, my partner who had not seen a single second of this show got
They
caught
did
up
that
immediately.
a couple of times.
Yeah,
they like
so
called themselves out a couple of times. They called themselves out with the one girl who was into the like dating games. They did it with the piano boy and with the little girl whose brother was the goth kid.
Yeah. So
God, I loved that episode where they were trying to make the goth kid like more approachable for the sister. That was such a good episode.
That was I really also loved with like Renge. He was like, wait, you like this too? She's like, no, I just like the aesthetic. I don't actually do this witchcraft bullshit. Which I was also okay. So the game that that one girl is playing, the video game, like the dating simulator, I thought like, damn, Doki Doki Literature Club is that old? I didn't think it was. And like, no, it's just an aesthetic. That's just the aesthetic of like dating games. I don't play those typically. Maybe that'll be the next one. But like, I was like, huh, it's that old, and I just felt my bones ache.
But like, I guess the concept of like moe and like
visual novels.
Oh, yeah, I guess
because they no, maybe what am I thinking? Otome games. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Not visual novels, but just specifically Otome games.
They
They existed back then. They've been around for probably since the 80s, 90s, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like the original. Like it's probably started from like those choose your own adventure games.
Yeah. Now I gotta look it up. When did Otome games start? 94.
I think I really loved also with when Roronoa Zoro was like, "Am I gay? I really like this dude," and he was just like having a
Oh
crisis.
yeah,
Casanova.
yeah, Casanova. I think he was just kind of like, guess I'm into dudes. They were all like that at some point. They're
this
like,
is life now.
They're like, all right, I'm into guys. Okay.
Yeah. I also like here in my notes, it's like one bullet point. The fact that the dub is a girl's voice and it's a show about dudes teaching someone how to be a boy is really speaking to the trans experience. And then like the mean girl said like, oh, you're a second class citizen. Oh, the mean girl is Himiko Toga from My Hero Academia. And then the next bullet point down is, oh, it's literally a trans metaphor explicitly. There's no subtext. Because I got to the part where like she was like taking her thing, like her shirt off, and they saw her bra. I also have like, oh, that's funny that they're doing, because I didn't know that the character was a girl. So like, oh, that's funny. They do the glasses, the 90s trend of like, oh, take off your glasses, you're so beautiful. But they did it for a guy. And I thought that was really funny. It's like back when we still got good rom-coms. It's like Freddie Prinze Jr., She's All That. I just recently rewatched that, and it's just like watching that come next to this was very funny. It's like, oh, we don't do this anymore. Oh, host hopper. When I recently,
it's such a funny term.
When I recently heard one of my friends is going through a sour breakup. He was calling her a homie hopper, and then like literally that same day I heard host hopper. I'm like, oh, that's funny. I love alliteration.
Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, I don't think I necessarily have like an episode where I think is weaker compared to any other of the ones. I mean, like I don't think that there is necessarily a bad episode or a bad arc in this series. I think if I had to pick like the weakest one, it'd probably be when Honey gets a cavity. But that's probably as far as I would go to say is like there is a bad episode, quote unquote, in this series.
The one that I saw people divided on, it seems like people either loved it or hated it, was the beach episode. Specifically because of the thing with Kyoya that even kind of shocked me a little bit when he was just like pinned her down. It's like, what are you gonna do? That one I was like, what the fuck? What's going on here? It was like later on, once I saw that the character, once I got to know the character more, it made more sense. My bad. But yeah,
I mean, I think the whole, like, I know that it was only, I feel like a lot of times when stuff gets adapted and it gets cut short, you end up with like weirdness. Like, I think Fruits Basket gets like weird and then they had to redo it and stuff. I feel like even though they only got through like 30% of the source material, they still did a good job of like, in the short time that they had, developing the characters and making sure that the show was a full show, like with character development. Like they left the end kind of open and there was like some stuff that they took out, obviously, but it doesn't, if someone didn't know that it was only a third, they could watch it and be like, okay, I do want more, but also the show is over. Where sometimes I feel like even with when the series is over, I'm like, wait, that's it.
I think I feel both. I think I feel like I could just be at peace with it, but also I kind of do want that box. I'm like, look, it's like talking to me like the Green Goblin mask right now. Like I'm on my second screen.
You want to buy me. Yeah, no, like eventually I'll read the series and just kind of get what's missing. But I, in terms of just like the overall show, I do think it is a complete package despite being open ended. I do enjoy the ending, the fact that it's open ended, because they did leave room for like a second season that just never got adapted. Whether that be a reasoning for how long it took to do the main series, like to write it all out, or just people didn't want to come back for a second season, not sure. I do overall enjoy the series like as a whole. I am at peace with the fact that we're never going to get another version of this show, despite the fact that Fruits Basket got a remake. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm at peace with this series, and in which like I don't need more, but if I got more, that'd be great.
There's a live action drama.
Yes. They're most
Danny, I'm surprised you
popular.
didn't show up and only having watched the live action drama version.
No, unfortunately,
This is
that
a
one was not.
callback to a previous episode where Dana reacts.
Yeah,
All right,
so
tell him to watch an anime and he watches the drama instead and doesn't tell me until halfway through my episode.
That's fantastic, by the way. Holy crap.
like I looked it up on Crunchyroll. I honestly, I did think about doing that. Like I like if it was on Crunchyroll right next to it, I would have like had the idea.
I would have known.
I am still so surprised how like again. So it started airing in the U.S. 2007, 8. This had a chokehold in my life with people in my life all through high school and seemingly all through college. I thought like when you told me like, oh, we're gonna watch this, I was fully prepared to be like, all right, 400 episodes. I don't know. I fully expected to be 400 episodes or like
First of all,
200
I would
or
never
something
do
like
that to you.
I was just I also hate how I quickly accepted it. Like you said, like, all right, do it. I'm like, all right, 400 episodes. There, I guess we're doing this.
And then later you're like, it's only 24? Dope. This is easy.
Oh yeah, light work.
not to spoil something, but Danny had asked me a question earlier this week, and I gave him my thoughts on it. And they're like, "Man, I really was hoping that I wouldn't have to watch 80 some odd episodes of this because, like, yeah." I'm thinking, Danny, the genre you sent me, minimum is gonna be 80 episodes for whatever good show is out there. Like, there's no possible way of escaping something that massive.
Yeah. It was Haikyuu. It was like I'm like working I guess call back to my YouTube channel. I'm working.
I didn't want to spoil it, so if you want to talk about it, go for
Yeah.
it. But like,
No,
yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm like working on a thing about like sports media, and I was just like, all right, would it be faster to read or watch Haikyuu? And like now I'm like, okay, yeah, it would be faster, but I know the full
So,
experience
the
is.
problem is that you can either borrow Frank's Blu-rays or you have to watch it subbed.
Because the dub for Haikyuu is like the dub
It's in
for
the ether.
Kaguya. It's amazing. It's great. It's one of the better dubs out there.
It really is. But it belongs to the ether now.
Yep.
Like no one has like the licensing for it. It's all
Unless
it
if
just
you
doesn't
have
exist
the
now.
Blu-rays, which
Unless you
I
have the
do.
Blu-rays.
So Frank, you can upload those Blu-rays onto YouTube in 3 parts, right?
Each episode is 3 parts. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All
like
80 episodes or whatever
Drop
it
me
is.
the link though.
and
God.
and the third part is mostly credits, but it's like just enough of the last bit to where like I have to click on part 3.
So bitter about this because the same way that Ouran is like a comfort rewatch for me, Haikyuu was a comfort rewatch for me.
Yeah, I was shocked that all of the dub got taken off, honestly, because I feel like I'm pretty sure I watched all of it last year on Hulu or whatever.
Well, there was a guy on TikTok who was doing I'm doing blah 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 every day until Crunchyroll puts the dub back up. Needless to
he's
say,
gonna be waiting a while.
he's still doing the thing. I don't know what it was, but
They're gonna
he's
be
still
waiting
doing
a
it.
while.
I know.
Yeah.
Haikyuu is another one where like I saw a TikTok clip of somebody like reciting it, and it took I for like years I thought, man, Haikyuu looks really funny because it was like, and then I found out it was an abridged version where like somebody it was like a bunch of innuendos, and then like one of the guys was like, "Is it me? Am I the pervert? Is volleyball straight, but I'm just gay?" Like it was like something very funny like that, and I just fully accepted it as dub. Like, all right, yeah.
Let me know if you want me on your sports as a derivative of all sports anime is gay because I got
Maybe that'll be our next episode. All of us, like Frank and me, like sports, so have us back for that.
Well, I had you watch Skate, which, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
the OVA is out, and I haven't watched it yet, and Yeah, skate. That's what I said.
Skate
Right?
Yeah, okay.
animated.
Did I say it? Okay.
No, you did. I don't know, but like you said, I know you said skate, but my mind went to this ice skating one, Ouran ice, because
Oh,
that is
yeah.
also
So
skating. But like I
also
associate you with
gay
that one more.
sports anime. Or
Wait,
just
Frank, did
go ahead.
did did she tell you, or did I tell you that like she had me watch Yuri on Ice, and I fully thought that the 23-year-old was gonna end up with the 15-year-old? Like I thought because every cosplay I've ever seen has been the Yuri, like the two Yuris together, and so I
So,
thought, all
so
right, I guess they're gonna end up together. All right,
as a heads up, I've actually not watched Yuri on Ice. It's like
okay,
the one sports anime I really haven't watched.
so now
Straight
you
Man
know.
Reacts Part 2.
So now you know that a 23-year-old is not going to end up together with a 15-year-old.
Oh,
I
that's
just
good.
want you to know that the cosplays misled me.
Yeah, no, I've been watching the other ice skating anime, which is Medalists, but which is fantastic. But back to Ouran High School Host Club, like,
Yes.
oh boy, it's Arnold. I see him,
There was a snoot in the frame, yeah.
little snooter. Oh, Arnie. But back to Ouran, like again, this is one of those comfort rewatch shows for me. I probably watch it every other year. Like this and Toradora kind of like flip flop every year as to which one I'm gonna watch.
I won't. I watched it. I won't rewatch Toradora.
I love Toradora.
I
It's a
can't.
it's good. It's just one of those shows that is like it was one of those early on shows when I was finally getting back into anime that I watched and I was like, this is great. Oh my god, I loved it. But now like fully realizing, years later, it is the most vanilla slice of life of all time. Vanilla, as we've discussed, is a good flavor still.
Frank's really
But
fighting for that stance.
Danny was the one that said vanilla was a good flavor, so
Yeah.
gonna throw that one out there.
Mhm.
It's different
like
coming
you.
from Danny.
And we've
I'm a
come,
more caramel
full
flavor.
circle to whatever book series Danny talked about from the beginning, where they
Real
changed
quick.
the white man to the Hispanic man in the movie.
Oh yeah.
We've come full circle.
Real quick, I know Danny had brought up Archive of Our Own. There is an Archive of Our Own comparison series where someone went through and simultaneously watched the anime, the drama, and read the manga side by side. And they do an episode by episode analysis of what is different, down to the level of detail of like the mean girl that Danny ships with Haruhi. It goes into like how much meaner she was to Haruhi in the manga. It says like this is omitted from the anime, but that the girl bullies Haru more than just with her bag in the fountain. She hides razor blades in her book and sewing
Jesus.
needles in her blazer.
God dang. That's wild.
So if
right.
anyone is interested in the deep comparison, it is on Archive of Our Own. It just says the comparison series, and it's the Iran one. I got there indirectly through going to the Reddit page for Iran High School Host Club, searching manga, and then it was like the 4th or 5th post down. But I'll copy the link and I'll post it on wherever I post the podcast episodes. So everyone has it, and I'll
Show
text
notes.
it to Danny.
Fair
Whoop.
enough. But yeah, I feel like I didn't talk too much about the show and how much I love it, but like I really don't have much. I really don't have much to say other than the fact that I
It's
really
like no
love the show.
notes.
Like I do have like a few complaints, which I've already voiced my complaints, and like other than that,
You just
I
said the
have
word
no
twins.
notes.
That was it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Twins, and then Honey Nozuka's voice actor. Like
Okay,
they
you know
do a
what?
great job, but like at the same time, it is
You know
kind of
what?
grating.
You know what? We're only an hour and 30 minutes in. Let's talk about the twins.
All right, cool. Let's do it. Now I can't tell either of them
My
apart.
wife may kill you.
I'll text her right now.
Oh boy.
Look at that.
But
Boom.
I mean the twins, it's not that I don't like their characters, because again, they do, like everybody in this series does have some sort of character growth.
They have a purpose. Yeah.
They have a purpose, but boy howdy are just like their scenes together are just I don't even know how to describe them.
But
It is
It's satirical, Frank. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like how people think Kesha's stupid. But Kesha is just this person. Kesha went to Brown. Kesha's so smart.
Kesha's my guilty pleasure. Listen, I love Kesha. Like that.
Okay, so I'm not telling you anything you don't know about Kesha.
Correct.
Right? She's so smart. She built this persona because she knew it would be successful, and it was. She didn't account for being taken advantage of and the whole record label thing, but that's neither here nor there. That's what the twins are doing. They're just feeding an audience. Yes, they love each other and they're twins, but not like that. But they love taking advantage of other people's weaknesses and interests for their own entertainment, and that's all their bit is. But they know that and they own that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, is with the twins?
I don't think they're actually peddling twincest in this.
I mean, but then you get to the scenes where they're at their own home and like they're in the same bed and they're both stark naked and they're only being covered by an elephant plushie that's preloaded with confetti.
They're wearing pants, Frank.
Are they?
Yes.
Are they?
Listen, who are we to judge Japanese customs? Again, for all I know, that's like if you told me that's how they do, I'm like, all right, cool. Who am I to judge?
I can elephant preloaded with confetti.
Wait, Frank.
There were a couple bits during it where I'm like, the elephant exploding confetti bit I didn't get. One thing that my husband kept bringing up as we were watching it was the banana peels.
Yeah, that was so fun. That was another one. I love the fucking monkey just shows up.
I forgot all about the freaking banana peels.
Frank, I'm really disappointed you didn't give me a rewatch before hopping on. You had time.
I found out about this like casually probably a month ago.
Is a month not enough to watch 24 episodes of one of your favorite shows?
That's fair.
Then
again, to be fair, I rewatched all of Kaguya-sama, and that's why. I love Kaguya-sama.
Danny,
Ian
have you seen
Sinclair
Love is
is
War?
insane.
No.
Oh, you need to, buddy. It's okay. Ian Sinclair at his finest.
Oh, he does Brooks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He is the narrator in Kaguya-sama.
That's another one where it's like the
dub is phenomenal.
The dub is worth it because of the narrator.
It's great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the narrator is Ian Sinclair.
It is more episodes than this, though.
It is.
All right, so next we'll need longer to do the next episode, I guess.
But yeah, so the banana peels bit, it comes out of nowhere and it's never really explained. It just exists.
I wonder if it's more explained in the manga or something.
I hope it doesn't. I hope it does not. I hope that it's just like, yeah, monkeys are here.
Through the archive site for banana peel and see.
Well, like, isn't it like one of the things is like they have like a jungle forest theme for the host club one week, and then that's where the monkeys are, and they just never leave the school.
I don't know.
Sweet. Majority of the Ouran High School Host Club manga is available on Libby at my local library.
Okay.
Okay,
so yes, the monkeys are there deliberately, apparently.
I mean,
monkeys.
Yes, the monkeys have real consequences. I assume they're real. I would hope they're real.
Well, no, they're put into the series deliberately. That's what I'm trying to say. Not like they're there randomly. But basically, from what I can skim on this Wikipedia page, it's that they're a symbolism of fun, activity, charm, loyalty, and wit. Just as the characters are. That's what I'm getting from skimming this. And that they like to play. There you go. So that's about as much as I can do for you on a very quick Google search.
I have a couple more thoughts before I let you guys go. Did we cover everything, Frank, on the twins? Do you feel like you have a new way of...
No, I knew what their purpose was. It still just made me feel like some of it was unnecessary and was like it was played up to the nth degree that it was just kind of a little bit of an eye roller, in my opinion.
It's Kesha, Frank. She brushes her teeth with a bottle of Jack. And when she leaves for the night, she ain't coming back, Frank. it's that same level. I don't get, if you love Kesha, I don't know how you don't get this bit. I don't
Like I
get how
said,
you
I
have
get
beef
the
with
bit.
it.
It's just like it's a bit of an eye roller.
See, for me, like the twin bit, I was just bored. Like not like I was just like, okay, I kind of get it. But then there was a part where like it seemed like one of the twins. I don't know if I misread it or like I like a translation thing, but it seemed like one of the twins was like, I want to have more friends beyond you, and the other one was like, no. And maybe they explored that more in the manga. I would like to read that, but like then they kind of didn't do anything with it, and I'm like, wait, no, don't edge
Go
me
back.
like that. Like
We have to go back.
Um.
But yeah, no, I got my piece out.
Okay. All right. Um. The other thing that I want to say about just this is the fact that it's older. I just feel like it was produced so well. Like, I know Danny had brought up earlier that, like, with the generator, and then we talked about the banana peels. I feel like, especially for how old it is, that it was just produced really well. Like, the way that the scenes were put together, the different, like, the subtleties, the not so subtleties. I think it was all just really well produced as far as like an anime goes.
Yeah, and it is done by Studio Bones, which, for those of you who don't know what Studio Bones have worked on, the original Full Metal Alchemist, Eureka 7, Soul Eater,
A little.
Leedle, leedle, leedle.
Jesus, there's that brain cell at work. FMA Brotherhood, yeah, they've worked on a bunch. Like those are some of the bigger ones: Space Dandy, Soul Eater Not, Noragami, etc., etc. So, like
I'm gonna
yeah,
do Soul Eater Not still.
I saw it on your bookcase earlier. It's somewhere, but yeah, it's right behind you. Oh, you got to get the third book. Anyways,
I thought it was on display somewhere. No, I saw it and then I didn't buy it because I'm waiting for hardcover sale. I'm waiting for hardcover sale. I'm being really
smart,
brave.
smart.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, like Studio Bones is consistently very good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So agreed. Yeah, the production behind it was fantastic, and I like the fact that the voice actors in like for that time period, I feel like it's very difficult to get good dubbed voice actors or like to make
Mm-hmm.
like voice actors give a crap about their roles because that time period there were some particularly heinously bad dubs.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that there aren't any more, there still are. Looking at you, Hulu dubs, but and High Dive, but yeah, no, I completely 100% agree.
I looking through my notes. I think if there is one weak episode, or one that I'm just like, I'm like, what was the point? It's the Alice in Wonderland one. Like that one,
Oh,
like I understand.
yeah.
I like the
I could see
episodes
that.
when like the creator very much like it's like, okay, you love this, so I'm assuming the creator fucking loves Alice in Wonderland, and they wanted like an excuse to use it, but like it definitely felt like not like bad. I don't like the way I don't know. Maybe the closest to filler. Maybe the animation team likes Alice in Wonderland and they wanted to experiment. I don't know if it's in the manga, but like it
I think
felt
it's
like
in the manga.
I'm like it felt like wait, where did we go with this? I don't remember how it ended honestly because like I was kind of um I think I was on my phone or on by that point by the end.
Let me
But
look
like
on this AO3 thing to see if it's in there. Episode 13. You keep going. I'm gonna read.
okay, yeah,
It
Frank
is
and
definitely an interesting episode. It's like in my opinion, it's one of those kind of filler gap episodes. It's
mhm.
not necessarily to me. It's not offensive. It's not inoffensive. Like it's a nice small break to kind of be like a little bit of an interlude into the next
Yeah.
arc.
I mean,
So yeah,
like I mean, I forgot about it like up until literally just now, so I guess it is inoffensive, but like I guess if I had to say like, oh, there is one weak one, I just now remembered it. I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
maybe I do remember it being if on a rewatch, it might be better. Oh, Fancy Tuna was a funny bit. I don't know
I
how they
love
train.
fancy tuna.
The fancy tuna is great. But yeah, no, and again, just to kind of repeat, for me, if I had to pick a bad episode, it would probably be Honey no Zuka gets a cavity. Like,
Mhm.
again, I'm not a huge fan of the voice actor. They do a great job because they're supposed to be portraying what is a man child, literal child, but as a man.
Mhm.
I think they do a wonderful job, but at the same time, like, that voice to me is grating, and that whole episode is about him, and all he does is complain that he can't have sweets, and it just, yeah, it's my least favorite.
Oh, okay. I guess like yeah, my journey with Honey Senpai is just like I hated him just because like oh what he is supposed to be, and like they straight up say the Lolita type. I right to jail. Like anyone who like is how I feel about that type of character, and but then like I really liked the episode where they explain his backstory when like he was just like, no, I'm not gonna eat sweets. I'm gonna be like the patriarch. I'm gonna
You're gonna
be respectable. And then he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna eat sweets. And then like
I'm still
but
gonna
then
be
like
badass and strong, but I'm also gonna only eat cake.
yeah, fuck protein. Just like only carbs and sugar. Um and then the truth thing of like his little brother showing up and being like, I don't care that he eats sweets. I just he keeps me up
He
at
scares the
midnight.
shit out of me.
He ate 3 cakes sitting down. That was so funny. Like and maybe it's because he shows up less or like has less of an important role throughout the rest of the series. But like from that episode, I'm like, oh okay. I
They
kind
showed
of
him
like
as a
it.
more mature character throughout the rest of the
Mm.
series after that episode, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I got
Oh,
nothing.
okay, yeah.
I'm
And
I've
then
I've said pretty much my piece. Like, I love this show. There's not like, again, I try not to nitpick it because it is one of those things. If I nitpick this, I'm gonna nitpick everything, and then
mhm.
my life is just gonna be a nitpick shame
I
of
just don't.
terror.
I still just don't know what you could even nitpick about it, if I'm being honest.
Nothing. I mean, does this is this technically what's that shoujo like the girl version of shonen? Does this qualify as that?
I think so.
I think it's a shonen. If I'm, is it not a shonen?
Or a
Because it is a
seinen?
reverse. It is a reverse
It is a
harem.
reverse harem.
Mm-hmm. So
And
like
I thought it was on Shonen Jump. No, it is a shoujo. Never mind. I'm dumb.
okay,
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean?
I'm an
so
idiot. It was on magazine Lala, so never mind.
yeah, so
That sounds great.
yeah, the reason I ask is because like kind of like uh when I was saying earlier, I was like, oh, like I kept having to like readjust my expectations to like what the show was because I had no context for what it was going to be. At first, I thought it was going to be like a date of the week, and then like, oh, it's going to be this and that. Like, I think like after a certain point, I'm like, the problems I had with it, I'm like, oh no, I'm being bad at a salad for not being a steak. And so like once I accepted it for what it is, I'm like, okay, this is actually really good for what it is. So like, yeah, like you can nitpick like things that haven't aged well, but like then that's ignoring the fact that it came out in 2006. You could nitpick the way the characters act, but then you're ignoring the fact that it's meant for a younger audience. So yeah, I do
Yeah.
agree. Like any problems I have come with it are with being in my 30s and watching something like this for the very first time.
Fair enough. Yep.
It's such a good show. It's one of those things where it's like, it's such a good show. I always want to recommend it to people who haven't seen it because I acknowledge everything that I've already explained to Frank about the twins. It's one of those things where it's like, because I've seen it and I know all of the context around it and the Kesha bit that has to do with the twins, I ignore all of the like, Hikaru, Kaoru, like, oh, I love you. I like ignore that because I know that it's not real. I know it's a bit that they do. But if I'm recommending this to someone, that's when it's important that I remember. And so it's kind of one of those things. It's like, oh, it's such a good show. You should watch it. But it's like recommending Dandadan to someone without giving them the, hey, by the way, the first episode's kind of weird warning.
There are a handful of weird moments throughout the show, but it's not the entirety of its thing.
It's one of those like, hey, I know it's weird, but let it cook.
Let it simmer.
Yeah, I am glad I let it simmer because yeah, like I felt myself becoming more and more endeared to the characters as the show went on. Even the newspaper one I really loved. Like that was the one that like kind of endeared me to the whole the group as a whole because it's like, oh, like they're all like, yeah, no, like yes, Tamaki is annoying. Yes, he's this and that, but he's our friend. And I'm like, okay. That's when it finally like endeared me to the club as a whole. Like the concept of a club.
Yeah. Like they're all dumb little idiots, but like they care about each other.
Yeah, the power of friendship.
Power of friendship to beat this journalist's ass.
I think that was like when during my first watch of it, I think that was when I like really started to appreciate nerd character. Because sometimes like my autism's like mean character is mean, and I have to explicitly be shown that they care. And so in that moment it's like, oh, he really does genuinely care about all of these people, even Tamaki, who's like pretty annoying as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm like watching like One Piece concurrently and like reading it, but like yeah, it's kind of the thing of like nobody respects Luffy as the captain, nobody respects Tamaki as like the leader, but they all accept that he is the leader. They all accept that like he is the reason that they are together. Even at the end, at like the end of the series when there's like, oh yeah, the host club is ending, like none of them say that like, wait, no, fuck you, I'm gonna be the president of the host club now. Like they all just like, because he said that the club is ending, they decided, no, wait, we need to save the club because without him there is no club. So that was like a what?
He's their glue.
Yeah, exactly. For better, for worse.
I don't know why I thought you said he's their Groot, and I'm like, I am
yes,
Groot.
He is their Groot. We are Groot.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Danny, thanks for indulging and watching one of my favorites for the pod. I hope that you genuinely enjoyed it.
I did.
Okay, cool. Sometimes not sure. I mean, like I gave you the last time you were on, we did the 4 different ones, and there was, I feel like at one point you were like, I did not enjoy this. It's like, you're not gonna like all of them. You're not exactly the target market, but it's this one I felt good about recommending, even though I know it wasn't going to be like giving you Skate and telling you, hey, you should watch Skate the Infinity. That one's totally different. But this one's just so good that I was like, Danny will, one, I know your sense of humor, but two, it's just so good.
I liked especially it kind of felt like an archaeologist of like, yes, this thing that inspires so many new things that I'm watching now, because that's the thing. It's just like the same way that Naruto and Bleach inspired Jujutsu Kaisen. There's like a lot of like shoujo and like a lot of like romance that is like made by people our age now that was watching this, and they're like, I want that, including the crappy vampire TikTok books. But you know, it's like
I'll drop the link to that when I post
we were beyond it.
for better for worse, you know, it inspires things of creatives our age. So it's like going back and being like, where's my cat? Oh, the door's closed. That's fine. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and it gets me like, oh, that's where that meme comes from. Oh, that's where that song is from.
Kiss, fun.
I wish I had that teed up to just randomly play throughout the episode. I'll have to edit it in.
Just make it a Discord soundboard for later.
I know. I've got my Stream Deck that I need to finish setting up once I figure out exactly how I'm going to format my streams from now on. I will also add that I didn't realize until this last time I watched it just how frequently the same song plays over and over again. But it's like it's done so well that you're not like, oh, this again. It's kind of those like they blend it into what's happening and they play it at certain moments. And I just gotta say, Frank, I don't know if you remember, but at my wedding, all of the bridal
I know.
party walked down to the instrumental to
I
that
thought
song.
No, I thought it was just me and you, since I was your flower girl, that we walked down to the Kiss Kiss, the instrumental.
No, the whole bridal party did that one, and then I walked down to History Maker.
That's what it was. Okay, never mind. But yes, I do remember that from your wedding because I was like, I love this song. This is great. Fantastic choice.
It starts playing, and you guys start walking down, and I'm just like...
I love that like the characters were listening like canonically listening to the end credit song. Like they had headphones in, like what? And then like the end themes was playing. I'm like, okay, this is cool.
I wonder what the budget was for it, because it feels like not a lot, but it feels like they made it work.
Yeah, it's not a lot. So we blew all the budget on this, and we're gonna use everything as much as we can.
Well, they got the whole intro song like redone in English, right? How much of the budget went to that?
It's the best, but also simultaneously the worst. It's not as bad as the ending song, which holy crap, that's a different type of bad.
I also because I listened to both of them, like I have here like, oh, the kiss kiss part is both in English and Japanese. Like they, which is very funny because like that's like the things I do love about anime when they just randomly speak English.
Yeah, glad you liked it, buddy.
Yeah, no, glad I got to talk about it.
What are you gonna suffer through next time, Danny?
You tell me. Are we gonna
Frank,
come back and?
Are we gonna
come back and? We're gonna come back in 6 months and do Haikyuu? Like
that one's gonna be like that's like its own podcast in itself, because you're gonna be doing like a whole sports thing. I'm gonna be like, this is clearly gay, that's gay, everything's gay, and Frank's somewhere like in the middle. I feel like Frank.
I played some sports, so I could just tell you it's gay. Like there's a lot. The Venn diagram is a circle.
I played water polo. There's some part of me that's probably out there, just like still wandering in the water.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say there's some part of me that's still gay. Like
I thought he was gonna say that. So I was like,
that too.
Yeah,
probably.
Specifically, the still gay. Like like the pause on like the still. Still.
We all had already filled it in by then.
Yeah, but no, I don't care. I would like to consider myself an ally, and I like these types of shows. So
yeah, no,
it's fine.
Ally.
Yeah.
Ally.
All right, so I'm gonna think of some other. I mean, no matter what, we got to circle back, Danny, and do a skate OVA.
Oh yeah,
reaction. Because I feel like you like that one, regardless of it being a bit that I make you do.
I mean, we could just have Danny just watch Bureaucrat de Villainess.
Oh wait,
we could Villainess Dad.
Yeah, the new one, the one that's out right now.
I love Villainous Dad so much.
We could invert this and have you watch specific episodes of Shonen and explore the romance in that. That could be fun. Whole episode on Naruto and Sasuke.
Sasuke, no.
And then we'll go through the like, oh, what were the top fanfics that were written, and you just have to have props like I did.
Spoiler alert, Naruto's in none of them.
Yeah, because I've thought about going back and like watching the classics, but at this point I'm like, is it worth it?
Some of them are. It's very difficult to try and find them. That's the difficult part.
See, for like
is it worth going back and watching the classics now that like Omegaverse animes exist?
See, as somebody who went back and watched the classic for this very podcast, I would say to an extent, yes. But like for something like Naruto, like go to a local GameStop and pick up like a shitty arena fighter from like the Xbox 360, PS3 era, and it's just like you just play through the whole story.
All they've got is GameCube, buddy.
And they have that too. That's how I watched Dragon Ball Z in its entirety for the first time. Budokai Tenkaichi.
I feel like Danny needs to watch Sailor Moon only because of
Hold on.
the conversation.
Are we talking about classic Sailor Moon, or are we talking about the remake?
Both.
It could be the remake.
Because I watched the first 2 seasons of the remake, and holy crap, what a wild ride that I was never expecting.
Oh, okay. I was like wondering, where's this
It
going?
is no, like Danny. I watched a good amount of Sailor Moon as a kid because I grew up with 2 sisters, so it's like whatever was on TV for them, it was on for me.
Same.
So I never knew what the hell the plot to Sailor Moon is. The actual plot to Sailor Moon is 10 times weirder and stranger than you will ever think of. So, warning there.
What's so fun is that like Sailor Moon for me was my sister watched it, but like I thought like I was a boy, so I couldn't like it, but I did like it. So like it was a thing of like this show's stupid. I'm gonna sit here and watch it with you, so I can tell you how stupid it is. And I was just like not saying anything, just watching it. But I watched the Spanish dub growing up, so like a lot of like the English stuff, I like the whole cousin thing. I missed it completely. I didn't learn about that until I was in college because like the Spanish dub was actually good. Like they actually cared about it back then.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, I've been wanting to. I was trying to find the Spanish dub, and then I went down the rabbit hole. And like, yeah, I saw a glimpse of what you're talking about, Frank. Where like, wait, this is what the show is about.
It's if you watch the remake, it's very much like we got rid of any and all filler. We're going 1,000 miles an hour at the plot, and the plot like at 100% pace is insane. It's anyways, yeah, I would have never guessed in a million years that that's what Sailor Moon was all about. What in that? Like, anyways,
yeah.
Sorry.
It's still like it's turbo speed, but it's still one that like you could put on and like watch while you were working.
That's
I did. That's what I did, and I still like I would have to pause it, rewind, and be like,
yeah, there was
no,
somewhere you're like
that
watching it, you're watching, and you're
Okay.
like, wait a minute, hold on.
It's like, did I hear that correctly? Yep, I did. Okay, cool. We're moving on.
Yeah, the original English dub is on Tubi, and like they have a Sailor Moon channel, so I'll just like pop in sometimes and like watch a random episode. But yeah, I like to watch beginning to end the way the creator, who is married to the creator of Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho, which is so cool. I love stuff like that.
Wait, real quick, Danny, instead of Sailor Moon, have you watched Nana?
No, I don't know what that is.
Frank, I haven't even watched Nana.
Okay, so I guess we're watching Nana.
It's peak sapphic, like not.
Well, I've not been more saddened.
I'm like episode like 9 or 10, and I just haven't gotten back to it.
In my soul, it's so good. It's so good. Anyways, okay. Well, I've picked your next episode, so.
Next episode, Frank's hosting an episode of Valsaraptor and Dana react to Nana.
Yeah, no, it's Nana's great. I would highly recommend it. That's like because when you're saying like should I go back to the classics, like Nana is definitely one of those. Because I'm scrolling through all the shows, like my anime list right now. I'm like,
I have not updated my anime list in so long.
I have to, or else I'll never do it. It's like as soon as I finish a show, it's like I upload what rating I think, and then I'm like, cool, I'm done with it. But yeah, Nana is definitely one of those that y'all should watch.
Animes and like tangent, so like I still have to go back and watch. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I started this one. That's how bad I am.
Yeah,
like I forgot that I had started Nana and never went back to it. I forgot that I still haven't finished Shadow's House. I forgot that I haven't finished. It's the list goes on.
Yeah,
not that I don't want to or didn't enjoy it. I forget that I started it.
The things that I would suggest that are older would be Nana, and then anything done by Satoshi Kon. Those are probably the go-tos. If
you know what Danny has to watch?
What do I have to watch?
He has to watch Madoka Magica.
That's a good point. I just passed that one. I was thinking to myself, oh, that's an easy one. That's a low bar to,
but
that's
it's
a low bar to cross.
it's one that like it's surprising. Like when you watch it, you go in, I would say raw dog it.
Don't look up
because it's
what
gonna
it's
surprise
about.
you. Yeah, don't.
Okay, I just do I have the streaming service that this is on?
It
And I
should be on
think I do.
Crunchyroll.
Oh, okay. I think so one of my favorite movies is Night on the Galactic Railroad, and I think supposedly one of these characters is based off of that. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm down.
And that's relevant because they just had like a movie come out. They had like some more. They had more content come out, and I'm also behind. And I watched Madoka Magica the first time, and I had downloaded it off of whatever I was watching it on, and I took it with me somewhere, and I was watching it, and I didn't realize that 2 episodes didn't download, and I just kept watching. Thinking like, man, they just really expect me to know this, huh?
That's wild. Yeah, you
But it
would
was
be
like 2 of the
so
most
lost.
important plot episodes. Like,
Was it like
apparently,
number 7 and 8?
yes,
Like somewhere in there?
yeah,
You'd be
it was.
completely lost.
Dude, I was so lost, but I kept going, and I was like, man, I don't am I supposed to know this? Like, I just kept going, and I finished it without having watched those 2 episodes. So it'll be.
That's how we did it back in the day. Like, oh, part 2 got copyright claimed. All right, we'll just keep going.
Of our own part 2.
Yeah. Or like even watching it on TV, it's just like, oh, you missed 1 week of Toonami. Then like, all right, cool. I guess
done.
yeah, here we are now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're doing Madoka next. So tune in next time.
Cool. Remind me, text me because I already forgot the name.
I'll send it to you in a Discord.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Yeah, look at our Discord messages.
All right, so that was Girls Gays Animes Part 2 episode series that we're doing of Straight Guy reacts to stuff that I like. Actually, this is technically gay shit. Yeah, Straight Guy reacts to gay shit. Trademarked.
Yeah.
So thanks, straight guys, for coming on and talking about Ouran High School Host Club with me for 2 hours.
Straight guys react to girls, gays, and animes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight man remembers the title of the show halfway through the episode.
Frank's here with he's like, girls, gays, and
oh right, duh. That's a thing. My brain is so straight that I completely forget that people ship the boys together.
I forgot the name of the podcast I was on, episode 2.
That was a funny, again, a thing we didn't talk about, but episode 1 with the light bulbs, love that. But that literally just was like, just a boop.
That said, though, for despite it being gay, 5 of the ships are straight. 5 of the top 5 ships
wild.
are straight, so
would have never imagined. I was trying to be like rationalize in my brain any of the what
the top 3 the top 3 by significant margin are straight. So how gay is it?
Well, if you consider the main character to be gender fluid, then they're all
okay. Yeah.
Stay woke, my friends. As a friendly reminder to our listeners, I will sign off this episode the way that I sign off all episodes, even in Tia's absence. But watch content legally, and for fuck's sake, utilize your public library. Check out books at the library. Check out manga at the library. They're really playing up the girls' gays bit as I do my wrap up. You can check out manga at your library. You can read them digitally through online platforms through your library. The state of the world is trash. The libraries they need our support more than ever. So
yes,
you can go far with your library card. This is Girls Gays Animes. I'm your host, Valsaraptor. I've got Tweedledee and they're waving. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Frankfurter, for coming on. Until next time. Bye.